self.
To my younger 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 self. To my younger self.
Good morning. Good morning. Hi, everybody. How are you doing? It is so good to see you. Beverly, our topmost supporter and a follower and just prayer warrior. We greet you. We greet you. How are you? Pleasant morning to you. It is so wonderful to see everybody. And it is May. Oh, my good God. I hear it's a holiday in Ghana. Ugh. You guys are so lucky. And with that being said, happy, what should I say? Eid Mubarak to all of our Muslim storytelling friends. We say Eid Mubarak to you. We are so glad that you get to come and join us and share stories with us. I see Seti is here, our producer. We thank you so much, Seti. Good morning. Lola! Hey, beautiful. I miss your presence on here. How are you doing? Lola is watching us on YouTube. I am so thankful, Lola, my beautiful friend. All right, how is everyone doing? Let's see what's going on here. We were a little late today, but hey, you know, that's just what we do, right? No, we lie. We're always on time. Anyway, let me greet you from wherever you are on the continent of Africa. And if you just joined us, my name is Zoe Baraka, and the show is To My Younger Self, where we tell stories from our past that will propel us into the future. Baraka da zuwa to you. Sanunku da zuwa yayade kakwana lafia. If you speak the oldest language in the world, Hausa, I just greeted you. And I'm asking you, did you sleep well? How are you doing? Ya ken, ya toma, dua wela, toma wela. I just greeted you in my own native tongue, which is the Kosal. I'm so glad you are here. Ndina to you, wezo, leke, wezo to you, if you speak Ewe. I love the Ewe language. I don't know why. Etiseng, Akwaba, Uhuntudenmimawachi. If you speak Chi, Ashanti, Akan, I just greeted you, Fanti, Achim. All of these dialects are from, Ghana. And so I greet you. Sawubona to you if you speak Zulu. Bella Ibiokebari to you if you speak Moshi. These are my own people from Burkina Faso. Toyote Ojeko to you if you speak Ga and you are, in Accra, or really, if you speak Ghana and you live anywhere in the world, I just greeted you. Ekaro to you if you speak Yoruba. Nagadef to all of our Senegalese friends, and especially to you guys this morning. I know it's Eid Mubarak to you guys, or is it Idul Fitr or Idul Fitr? I'm not sure which one it is, but I greet you and thank you so much for joining us, taking time off of your celebrations to be a part of our African storytelling movement. Jambo, habari gani to you. Karibu sana. I greet you. Kotong and Amohelang to you if you speak Sesotho. Inyasi, Aloy, Domelaki. This is from the Bisa people of Burkina Faso. This is my mother's real tongue. I love the Bisas. Kotoli to you if you speak Fulani, or really, my dad says, if you speak for Foldi and you are Fulani, I greet you. Akei to you. We're paying homage to our storytelling friends in Haiti. We greet you. Bom dia if you speak Portuguese. Bonjour, buongiorno, of course. Buenos dias, welcome. I greet you. And listen, to Sanyuse Okabalaba to you. If You speak Luganda. We are so happy to see you. We are so happy to see you. All right, we're going to jump in and introduce our guest storyteller. I am excited. Honestly, every Tuesday, I am just excited, okay? I don't know why. I just get very excited. Let's see who is here. Girl, Makadini says, okay, Makadii or Makadini, I greet you, Thandiwe. Oh my God, I miss you. Where have you been hiding your beautiful smile and your beautiful self? Let's see who is here. Antoinette, I greet you from the windy city. Oh no, you're in Accra? I am so jealous. Next time, can you put me in your little bag? I feel like I can fit, right? I could fit. Juliet is watching us all the way from London. Good afternoon. We greet you, my dear. Oh my God. How is our boss doing? Brand L Thai. I'm still waiting for my shada. You know what I mean? Because we have to represent. Salute to you, sis. Girl, you're trying to show me up, big sis. Why are you doing that, producer Elsie? I do not like that. Wezo. This show was actually specially curated by, I was about to say specially, but we wouldn't say which kind of people say that, where we come from, but specially curated by Kemi Pendlebury. Thank you so much for being producer and line producer in the background for this particular show. We are so grateful to you, Kemi. I see Audrey here. Hello. That reminds me of that show. Pastor Casper, I see you. Thank you so much for joining us. We are 6 minutes to the top of the hour, and we are going to introduce our guest storyteller today. All right, let's do this. Marian Akosua Pokuaa Atiomo. I hope I got that last name right. And when she comes on, she's going to correct me. Fondly known as Akosua Pokuaa, is an entrepreneur, a mother, and a minister of God's word, primarily through the medium of music. She's married with 3 children. She is the founder of Mother's Hood Foundation, an NGO dedicated to uplifting mothers and young children and raising awareness about the challenges associated with pregnancy, childbirth, and early childhood development. And also the founder of MAP, that is M like Mary, AP, MAP Ministries, a ministry focused on reaching out to young people in second cycle schools with the Word of God. As a seasoned minstrel, she has served for many years with the Logos. I was about to say Lagos, but it's not. It's the Logos, with the Logos Rhema Foundation for Leadership Resource Development, LRF, where she has grown to become a leader and mentor to many. She has also served as music coordinator in LRF's 96-hour non-stop praise and worship service, which brought together ministers and ministering groups from 10 regions of Ghana, my God, and 7 nations to raise an altar of non-stop worship in song, dance, and reading of the word for 4 days straight. Her music ministry starting at age 9. She has ministered for the past 25 years in music and word on various platforms in Ghana, USA, and Egypt, including events organized by the Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship International and the Israeli Embassy in Ghana's Holocaust Memorial and Hanukkah celebrations. Along the way, she has collaborated with many other music ministers, featuring as a supporting vocalist on several successful music albums. And what she has not added here, and let me tell you, Africans, man, we are sharp, okay? Her bio is so long, I had to kind of like cram it in, and you see how long that took? We are sharp people. What she hasn't told you is she's also come up with her own albums over the years, and she is an anointed singer. Her voice really stopped me in my tracks one day. I was driving when I got the notification. I was like, oh my God, who is this? Okay, let me not waste your time with my blabbing. I want you to meet this woman, the legend herself, Akosua Pokuaa, as she likes to be called. Let us do it like we always do in the To My Younger Self fashion. Let's say, welcome. Let me see some hand claps, some hugs, some welcomes in our local dialects to this incredible, beautiful, amazing daughter of Ghana, daughter of Africa, minstrel herself, Akosua Pokuaa. Hello, my dear, beautiful.
Hello, everybody. It's good morning from my end.
It's good morning here too.
Okay, so good morning, everybody. Such a privilege to be on this awesome platform. Thank you,
Thank
Zoe,
You're
for
very
having me here,
welcome, my beautiful sister.
and
Listen,
all our friends who are watching.
yes.
It's a privilege and an honor, to
Wow.
be in your presence, all of you. Thank God for today too.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
holiday in Ghana,
Ah,
so you can see I'm not all over the place. Very relaxed.
I can see that. That was like God just doing it. Like He just kind of put us in the right spot
Mm-hmm,
for today.
mm-hmm,
Listen,
mm-hmm.
this show is yours. I hand it to you. My job is
Right.
done. Jump in, tell us some stories. This is why we're here.
Wow. Wow. So again, thank you, everyone. Happy to be on this, platform created for us or to tell our stories. And so, Zoe, I mean, this is fantastic, and I'm honored to be here. Oh, so I was just thinking through, where do I start from? My name again is Marion Akosua Pokuaa. That Yemo, of course, came along the way, because I got married to an awesome man called Kobna Kisiedu Atiemo. So
Oh,
yeah.
we honor
Uh,
you, sir, wherever you are. Thank you so much.
so
Thank
so a beautiful adopted name, Atiemo, and happy to be an Atiemo.
you.
So the name map comes from my name, Marion Akosua Pokuaa, and so that's it. And then I add an extra A because of the Atiemo, yeah. So that is what it's all about. Marion is Marion. Ooh. I was born in Kumasi. Privileged to know this exact hospital I was born in, Konfanoche, on a beautiful sunny day, on the 3rd of December. I wouldn't want to mention the year, otherwise it means I'm giving out my age, which is
Girl,
okay.
you look 16, so you can just be like, I was born in 2000.
So
We'll
it's
believe
okay.
you.
They say ladies don't tell their age, but I do. I do, because of how far God has brought me and how good He has been to me. Nobody gets to live through certain situations this long, but I'm here, kicking, laughing, being myself, my Banku loving self. I
Wow.
love Banku. That's one of the secrets we'll be
You and
discovering.
me, that's the thing right there. Banku is my favorite girl.
Oh, my sister, I just love that food. And I can't be bothered what anyone says about it. So yeah, that is me. I grew up in Kumasi, precisely North Sontreso. Went to basic school at North Sontreso. I went to Bethel. No. Before that, I went to Perpetual International. Every private school back in the day was international school,
National school.
right?
Yep. They needed
So I
that.
went to international school, and I always brag to my children. Now, you don't know, I also went to an international school. Yeah, the one where I transitioned from to secondary school was called Bethel Preparatory School, also an international school. Yeah, but it was in Tabodang. How do I even say that in P? It was a wooden structure.
It's a wooden structure and top,
A
but
wooden
I
structure,
love that word.
and I wish I had pictures to show how
Oh,
that international school looked like, you know. Yeah, because it was a private school. And my mom was always looking out to give us the best in terms of education, regardless of not really having much. But I think she knew that giving us a good foundation in education was going to set us up, for good. So yes, I mean, she was pushing, whether it was international school with wooden structure, the floors were not even, tiled or anything. It was, bare floor. I'm talking about what Americans would say proper dirt. Yeah. So when I come home, you can imagine how I was looking. I looked like a living legend. Because yeah,
living legend.
telling you, the living legends, when they are coming, they are all, covered with sand, and days that it rained because the school roof had holes in it. The floors got muddy, and so yes, we came home really looking like beautiful living legends. So
Living
that
legend.
was yes, that was my background, and a little throwback. So the nursery school I attended, you had to bring your own desk carry your desk. Yeah.
Wow.
And yes, and so that one was yeah, another interesting thing. And you could see me very tiny carrying my desk. And then we used to what we used to write on was a slate, that
Yes,
black
that
slate
black slate
that
with the
had
white
those
chalk.
beads at the top,
Oh
yes, for counting
my God.
with chalk.
Throwback.
And with chalk. So the chalk, you know, we had different colors. And so yeah, that is where I am coming from. And that is where I'm coming from. And so when I got to class 5, yeah, class 5, what we call then P5, that was primary 5. Well, I didn't know. My mom, again, you know, at that time they had brought in, for before you go to secondary school, you had to go to through the middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but funny enough, a lot of the international schools, and you know, I say that international schools schools were transitioning at class 6, because I don't know, I think they were preparing us up, right? So most of us were not writing what they call the common entrance to go to secondary school. So I wrote the late entrance. So they had the common entrance, and then that same year they had the late entrance. The late entrance, you catch up with them, you know, in Form 1. Those who wrote the common entrance, Chale, they were groupies, so big mamas. You understand? I was 11 when I wrote the late entrance, and I was in class 5. A very interesting class 5. And my mom just said, you are going to write an exam. I didn't know what it was about. I didn't even understand what the whole transition was. And so I went to write the common entrance, the late entrance, and I passed. And my mom said, okay, you are going to this school. Chale, for me, it was just, I'm leaving one school to the other. The understanding that you're going to secondary school was not there. You know, yeah. So I went to Form 1. And forget about this size now. I used to look like a broom. So yes, I appeared amongst, you know, really big people. So I was there, Form 1. I think, no, yeah, I was 10 going to 11. 10 going to 11. That was when I went to Form 1. So I jumped class 6. And it was fun, because at the end of the day, it is still books, you know, so there was nothing new. And of course, syllables that we were going to. So yeah, so we just carried on, went through and completed in 94. So we were privileged to be the last batch of the old system, even though the new system was running alongside us, because it came to meet it. I don't know if you get it. So I think the first batch was 93. Those who completed, you know, the first batch were 93. So I didn't go through middle school or JSS back then, or JHS now. So that is it. And yeah, so that is all the educational thing. Wrote O-level, and you know, went on to do the private A-level, because you know the O-level, because of the I'll talk about the challenges, but I just want to run through quickly. O-level, I had a challenge with maths. I didn't pass, not because I didn't want to pass. Even though I didn't like figures, you understand. So basically, all through my life, even till now, the courses that I think are difficult, I study them more. Just because I just don't like complications in my life. I don't like pahala. Okay, so get it done and over with and move. No long talk. So that you don't have to come to it again. Period. So yeah, but it didn't happen that way. Passed everything. I did music also at school. One of the subjects that people didn't want. And I had to substitute economics with that.
Okay.
You know, because I just also, again, all those funny things with economics. My sister, I was not seeing top. So I had to put it beside and do do music. So I actually prepared to write the final exam within 6 months, you know, writing music, and privileged to be attached to Prempeh College back then, because we're only 12 in the whole of Ashanti region, right? writing, the music exam. And so I did performance test and all that. So this has been my life. Now, going back a little to, compress my whole life. Growing up was not that rosy. It wasn't rosy. I don't want to say it wasn't pleasant. It was pleasant regardless, because childhood, no matter what, is fun. All the mischief, all the things that we did, even with the struggles, it was fun. And my father actually traveled to look for greener pastures very early. And according to my mom, because I didn't see her when I was a baby, I don't even remember when I was a baby. My mom told me when I was 2 months, my father traveled to Nigeria a day after my naming ceremony.
Wow.
And it was the contributions that added up to the whatever transportation, whatever for him. Then, yeah, I am that powerful, you see.
Wow.
They didn't give birth to me. Okay, he wouldn't have got transportation to run away from. I'm telling you.
Oh my God.
But then around that time, there was a lot of what do you call it? And people who migrated to Nigeria. My father was a teacher. My mom was a secretary. All right. And so, yeah, I mean, I think they agreed that, yes, it's a lot of teachers were moving to Nigeria to go and teach. So he also went. During the Nigeria period was okay. We were a very close-knitted family, no nuclear family. And my mom also moved eventually to join my father in Nigeria. So my formative years, I think from whatever time, I think my mom said they went there when I was around 7 months, up to when I was like 4. We came back to Ghana because then my father was thinking of moving on to other parts of the world, specifically the West, Europe, because they needed to kind of explore and also do better with their finances. So that was where the trouble started.
Wow.
That was where the trouble started. My father, I knew when he used to, when we came to settle in Nigeria, he was then now preparing, getting ready to move to wherever. I think the first country he went to was Belgium. And then he moved on. It was a life of a hustler, So he moved through and finally settled in Canada, where he's still, living at the moment. When my father left, of course, a good woman, she did everything to send a lovely husband off. But that was it. That was it. Whatever challenges he encountered, we don't know. Whatever he went through, we don't know. So basically, my mom, from when I was, I think, I don't quite remember, but I think 7, I was around 7, 8, if you like. Yeah, I think 7 or 8, yeah. And that was the beginning. My mom became a single mother for 4. Because when my father was leaving, my mom was pregnant with the last born. So he never had the privilege of ever, living with my father for even a single date. He was born with a little birth defect. And so I think all 4 of us had some kind of health challenge. Okay, as at the time, they didn't know, but I was having crisis, of a child who had a sickle cell. It was eventually after a comprehensive test was when they discovered, oh, this is it. But I lived in Kumasi.
No way. Let's backtrack a bit for our audience. You had sickle cell? You just said that like I had. So okay. I think we'll start that when then you finish the story. We're gonna come back because you say
we'll come back to it. We'll come back because I want to compress everything and give the better part of the childhood. I don't know. I love to think about the positive side of everything.
Let's talk. I really want to delve into this sickle cell thing. I mean, because the woman, guys, please help me here. She said had. So I'm my brain is like,
yes, had, because because that's why I don't want to jump the stories.
Okay.
My last comprehensive test again in somewhere 2000 showed that there was no trace of sickle cell in my system. And truthfully, I haven't had crisis from the last time I had a terrible crisis was 1999 December. I was discharged, and that one I remember because it
Can we
was bad.
smell your blood?
Yeah, I was discharged around 5 p.m. and I was excited. I was so excited. Um, I was discharged at 5 p.m. 1999, 31st. And guess what? I was happy because I got to see 2000, all the news about 2000, Y2K. You all remember Y2K?
Okay. Oh
Hey, Y2K.
God.
They said computers will crash and all that,
Things will crush. Everything will just.
Yeah, they said
But you were not
computers will
worried.
crash, and guess what? I didn't even know anything about computers then, and all the funny things they were anticipating will happen, the projections, and people even are afraid that planes will crash because of the system. So everybody, Y2K. So for me, I thought there was going to be another big bang, all the
Wow.
stories, but nothing happened. It was a very regular day, but I was happy to see it.
You sound very disappointed.
I was. I don't know. Yes, my little mind, I was. I was expecting that the next day we'll see something, but it's been 2000, on and on and on till now. We are in 2022. Nothing happened, but I was grateful to see. I tell you.
Oh my God.
Oh, the biggest thing that has happened over the period is COVID, if you like, and
Wow.
maybe 9/11. So yeah, things have happened. So yeah, let me not just wash it
I
away
know,
like
I
that.
know, I know.
Things have happened, good and bad, but we all survive all that, and we are still here. So the reason why I am grateful and I choose to look at the brighter side of everything. Sickle cell punished me. So as you know, growing up as a little girl, having all these challenges with being sick and all that on a single mother. My sister had asthma, other people had their own stuff. But mine, I was more of a nuisance because the crisis was terrible. It was terrible. And I was a bit feisty, okay? I was all over the place. Yeah. And I think it comes with such children. We we don't sit at one place.
I
You
love
understand? We are all over the place.
she means
We
that
are
she was just, yeah, you just said she's everywhere as a child. Yes. Wow.
yeah. We were all over the place. I was always all over the place. Eh, eh, just I mean, I'll be fighting on the street, girl.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember ever walking home because every day there was a fight at school. If I can't beat you, I run. Yes, but
Wow.
before that, I would threaten you, bully you, and all that. So yeah, I will psych you up. Yeah, so if you are not powerful enough mentally, I can beat you.
Wow.
Yes, because then there was a park called Akosua Park. I tell you, when we close, you are in trouble. Meet me at Akosua Park. Mm.
Oh my God, I remember those.
So, and I was very tiny. I was very, very tiny. You can imagine my legs used to look like chopping sticks because my mom would be like, that was how they would eat. That was what I was told. My mom, I was troublesome too. I was a child that is always sick. They expect you to,
Just being your
handle
little
yourself
corner.
a
Yes.
certain way. At least have mercy on yourself.
Mhm.
All right. But I didn't. So this was it. So I wasn't so much of my mother's favorite. My sister was your perfect
Oh.
everything. The perfect child,
Mhm.
looked very obedient. Yeah. And we were living in a compound house.
Hmm.
So everybody see when when your matter comes, I say saying it in the Ghanaian, when your matter comes, everybody says something. Okay,
Wow.
then when there's an issue about you, everybody will chip in, and it's like they throw it from all angles, because mostly these issues will be discussed in the evening. And it's a compound house. We didn't have it like a kitchen. We
Mhm.
cooked in the porch,
In
in
the
the
yard, yes.
right, and coal pot and all that. So that was my childhood. It's nothing grand. So for some funny reason, I did most of I don't want to call it the horrible part of the cooking and everything.
House chores.
House
Yeah.
chores.
Mhm.
I did the most difficult part of them. Why I call it hard and horrible. No, house chores are house chores. Everybody did. But they
Mm.
will give you those hard parts, like grinding pepper on a stone.
Ay, ay,
I don't
ay.
know
She
if
got it. Guys, she brought it. The grinding of the pepper. Jeez.
Canada, like grinding pepper on a stone. And I became very skillful at it, because at a point I knew I was not going to be able to fight it. So
Mm,
I had to develop mechanisms. That some of the mechanisms are common.
mhm,
That when you are grinding the pepper, you don't, scoop, because as you are grinding, it goes to the edges. So you
mhm.
have to scoop it into the inner, yes, so that you don't use your hand.
Ish.
So I always had cassava
Mm,
or plantain, because you have to use the peel to bring it in. And you don't put your hand in water, all the time, because at the end of the day, the back of your game and then in between your will burn. It's on fire. Yeah, and it's on fire for hours. So yes, I a lot of the things that happened to me made me so wise and street
mm.
wise as well, because I was always calling for the trouble for myself anyway. And yes, but in spite of doing all these things, I was considered the lazy one. Why? Because I will speak up that I
Mm,
won't do.
mm.
And so you can imagine the beating. Oh
Oh
Jesus,
my God.
the beating,
Jesus.
the beating. In fact, everybody knew in the area that, oh, Marion, when they hear me screaming, they know that, oh, this girl is at it again. She's done it again. So yeah, that was my childhood. And also I used to hawk, I had to go and sell wares for my mom. One of them, okay, so we used to make polo. I think it's a pastry made of
Mm,
coconut and flour.
mhm, mhm.
Very nice. And then my mom used to prepare donuts. These are all side, gigs that
So
she had to
hard.
do to
Yes.
support us. Yes. And
Wow.
so we all helped. However, I was the one who had to go and sell. And so, yes, and so as you're going to sell, you are on the street. So then you have to become streetwise.
Mm,
It is a fight. So everything is a fight. Everything. And so if I didn't develop a good sense of humor, I don't think I would have pulled through them.
wow.
And for some funny reason, I always saw those moments as funny. Everything I encountered was funny to me, because I think God just blessed me with that part
Mm.
for me to be able to deal with
The street.
whatever I was going through. Exactly. And even when I'm sick, remember when I had crisis and you come and meet me on the sick bed, till date, I will be chatting, laughing, cracking jokes and everything, but I'm very sick, because that is how I got through the pain. That was, of course, there were moments that when the pain was really bad, of course, then, you catch me. I cry a lot. How do have I cry a lot. Listen, I cry a lot and I laugh a lot. Both extremes. I laugh a lot and I cry
You
a
cry
lot.
a lot.
So I yes, I am that was growing up, going to sell. But eventually my mom settled on trading. So
Mm,
she was trading in beads,
mm,
beads,
mm.
the one that you put around your waist. So I became an expert of it. So I'll
Hey,
go
wait,
and
wait, wait,
sell.
wait, 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 wait. When I let's do this transaction live right now because these beats, we need it. Over in this part of the world, you have
You
to.
know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay,
So
ay,
so so it was something that I used to go and sell, but I became very good. And I will go so far to different towns,
mm.
and my mom didn't know where I was. Of course, there are no phones. Those children we see on the streets, anytime I see them, I can relate. Anytime I see them, I see me, and I understand them very well. So you go very far and go and sell. So if you are not tough, people can cheat you, or anything can happen. And I will do all this, come home, and still I didn't have certain privileges. I'll ask for things and I won't be given. I'll ask for, I want this, I want that, I won't be given. I guess because my mom thought she was spending a lot of money on my health and all that. So you know what I'm saying? I was a nuisance. So yeah, you brought it in. So my big sister when immediately I returned from selling, that is when she will remember all her needs. I'm telling you. Then one day they will give it to her. Me, who went to sell and had to go through the weather conditions and everything, and most of the time, after a period, then I break down, I will be denied. So I developed another mechanism. And you know what they call chobo? You have to survive. So
you brought some words today. I can't even. Okay.
So when I go and sell, if my mom gave me, okay, so the price of the beads, I'll add a little to it, but I made the people know the value of what they are getting. So and they were buying it.
Oh my God!
They were buying it, and mostly when African women, we are curvy. I was the one, stringing the thing together, and I will make it exactly the you need to buy extra. So back in the day, we will leave extra, of the thread or whatever. Is it the yarn, whatever, so that it's very long at the edges. So you just tie it a certain way. It's done differently now. So immediately I go there and I look at you, I'll measure it, I say, oh, you need to buy 3. You need to buy 3. This your size. You have to buy 3. And yes, and so I had a way of doing it in minutes for you.
Oh wow!
In minutes, for you, in minutes, and it fits, and they were happy. Okay, and listen, they were ready to, they are women. They always wanted to change.
Yes.
Whatever. And I was always, so at a point in time, my mom was making me go to the market to get the raw material.
Wow.
Raw material. So, and I knew what was, trendy at the time. So I knew what, and I can tell this one will do that, and I'll bring, and they were happy with it. So if my mom give it to me for a certain price, I will increase it slightly. So that was my money, because I will come back with your money. But this extra, I made it myself. Yeah. So that I'll be able to get the things I wanted, which regardless of, in spite of me going to sell, I'll be denied. I still got it because it was my own money. I hope you understand.
Yes.
Yeah, that one was my own money. So that was what I called the chobo. And yeah, so this was how the business thing, and I had money. Trust me, I had money. As a child, I'm so transparent and very honest. This was not something I hid from my mom. This was not something I hid from my mom. She knew, so she started borrowing money from me.
Hey.
Oh yes. And she will borrow the money and promise to pay.
Not give you.
Yeah, and she said, you'll be sick, you'll be that. The food you eat,
wow.
But that is normal. Now I understand my mom so well. Being a mother, I understand her. She went through so much. And I think she also realized, and this was something that very recently, not too long ago, my husband made me understand. I became the big sister instead. I became the pillar that all my siblings looked up to, including my mom. Every issue was me, and still till date, because God prepared me to become a solution, very solution oriented, because challenges can do two things to you. Can destroy you completely or make you better, because if you understand it is a challenge and not a problem, you look for a solution for it. I didn't understand all this, but God in his own mercy made me that. So I would think about the solution. It will come when it's not coming. And so I like controls. Anything I'm not able to control, that's the downside of me.
Hey, we're on the same page on that one. Oh my God.
So if I can't control it, then I'm jittery, because anytime a challenge comes up, I'm able to think and I'm able. So when I get to a roadblock, then I don't like it. I get jittery. I get tense. That is also not good. So that is what in my older self now, which I am trying to work on, because you can then also understanding to trust God also completely, because you see, you cannot have controls over everything.
Yes. Wow.
You can. So this was my childhood. It was fun. It was fun because I was always on the street. We used to play pilolo. Oh, geez. I don't know how I'm going to explain that. It's a game,
Wow.
We play the chaskele. And so I was always on the street.
I was terrible at chaskele. I always
but in Kumasi, we were playing chaskele with not with the empty thing stuff. We're playing with the corn.
Wow.
Yes, we were playing with that, and it was safe. When I came to Accra, I realized that this thing. There were terrible moments that, regardless of all these things that my mom had to do, we struggled with even our daily meals. Eating 3 times a day was a privilege.
Wow.
And to date, I'm not able to eat breakfast, because, you eat almost like, brunch time.
Wow.
Right? They give you heavy food. So I don't know this, you people, your tea matter. And this your tea.
We used to eat leftover to Ozafi, okay?
You are blessed and highly favored. I'm telling you.
And I wish my sisters were here to confirm this was, and we used to fight it leftover. With
and my mom, sad I don't speak ever. My mom is full ever. Okay, so, and I don't speak a word from it. So and that's why I love banku. And the banku, when you prepare it today and you have a leftover, the leftover was a chocolate.
Yes.
Oh, my sister, it is awesome when you warm it whilst you are grinding the pepper or warming the okra, my sister, it is heaven. Forget it. So that was it. And I used to take food to school, and it was not that glamorous. Back in the day, rice and stew was for the rich.
Yes, it was.
And chicken. I watch my children today, they treat chicken anyhow and stew anyhow, Coca-Cola and things anyhow. And I look at them. So for them, Christmas, these days, Christmas, there is nothing special.
No.
This is my life, a very regular life, all the hustle and everything. Christmas, for instance, what times that my mom has a little, she normally buys your Christmas clothes around October. My sister, so you can imagine the size. With the hope that
you will grow into
it. And what Kumasi people call the munyini, okay? you grow into it. And sorry. This the munyini, me alone, because of my health condition, I was never the munyinis. I was growing tall though. So you can see that I've grown a bit taller.
Wow.
But in weight, no. So you see me, I look very wonderful. And and you see me with my socks. Yes. And you see me with my socks. And I never liked short socks. You see the type that I'll say the length of what footballers use.
Oh my
Yes, and for me, that was beautiful. I just love myself, and I love strange colors for my shoes. So a particular Christmas, I had a pink dress and a blue shoe. Today, you can do that. Yes. When I look at the combination, and then I used to like hats, but I've always been hairy, very hairy. And back in the day, remember there was a lot of lice. Like there was this kind of
God.
lice was, yeah. So my mom, to prevent that, I had a pen. So imagine a child selling like that still with a pen. But my hair was beautiful. There was so many things that God gave me or blessed me with that attracted people to me somehow.
Wow.
I had friends. I had people that genuinely loved me. And that was that. These are the things I choose to dwell on. And so my life journey, always for some funny reason, God brought someone, people,
to help along the way.
Yes, to make the journey easy. To make the journey easy. And that's why I want to dwell more on that, because God has indeed been very faithful till date. And he has always brought people, even Kemi, the little sister I have gained. You know, God has been good. God has been good. These are lovely people that I don't call them friends. So most of the people that I should be calling friends, and when I call people sis, I mean it. It's not a cliche. They are, because I don't keep friends. I keep family. And indeed, they have been family. I have been friends with people for more than 20 years. They are still my friends. Nothing has happened. Okay, so those who will fall off along the way will fall off, but it doesn't end like, there is this hard bitterness against them. No, it just we are falling, like it has happened, but we are not in bad terms with you. I should be able. One of the things growing up that I also learned along the way, or being on the street, is I never shut a door behind you. You keep it open. You keep it open. You keep it open and learn to forgive quickly. And so, like, see, it's the street. We are all fighting. Why are you holding people to your heart? What for? What? So this has been my life.
Wow. Listen, let me break the thought a little bit. At first, I wanted to greet a few people, and then when we come back, what I want us to do is, I really do want you to tell us a little bit about the sickle cell, because you used a one word that really. I just want you to tell us a little bit. Had, Had, meaning you don't have it anymore. At least that's what I'm thinking. No. So
at least, because the text says that it doesn't show. There is no trace of it in my system. So
let me go and say hello to a few people. I see our Chief Ogoro himself. This is over to my younger self. We call this man our rainmaker. This is our rainmaker himself. Mr. Executive Producer himself is here. Emmanuel Sorogo, we honor you and we thank you. You know, in filmmaking, executive producers are the, omunomukraskano, so sir, we thank you for joining us. He's hardly ever on because, some people are just that, that busy. But today he's made time for us. And I just wanted to take time to say thank you. We honor you. And thank you for being on To My Younger Self, Mr. Executive Producer. Who else is here? I've seen a couple of people along the way. Doris, our little sister who has just attached herself to us. No, like she's not letting go. Watching us all the way from the northern parts of Ghana. Doris, we honor you. Thank you so much for joining us. Who else is here? I see a lot of people. The comments are flying and I don't know who to greet. I get frazzled. Ooh, sis, Auntie Ajwa is here. This woman is an incredible storyteller. Thank you for joining us. I think I saw Ralia here, who is my sister and was confirming my Tuazafi story. But she's here and I just wanted to say hello to her. Hanatu is here, strong woman herself, as she's saying she's loving this strong woman. What you go through will either hurt you or make you stronger. Yes. Thandi Way, also in the UK, says genuine sisterhood like it should be. I love it. Well done, sis. Sincerity is sometimes a rare thing, but God wants us to be sincere in our relationships. Yes, and Mr. Executive Producer says, keep up the good work. We love you. Oh, yes, we do. We love love you too. We love you in like you have no idea. You know, just so many comments. I don't even know where to end. But guys, we see all of you, and thank you for joining us. Now we have about 10-15 minutes. We're gonna go in and talk a little bit about
Yeah.
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 Over to you, my dear.
So a quick one on the sickle cell. So basically, I had a turning point in my life at the age of 13. At 13, I gave my life to Christ, and I believe that was a turning point. I was introduced to Youth for Christ. You know, I was introduced to Youth for Christ, and that was it. And the way I used to be changed a bit. The fighting, the everything, and being that, you know, so much of a nuisance reduced. And everybody, when I went to my first camp meeting and came back, everybody was saying, "Oh, 9-day wonder, Mariam, mommy and me."
Hey, I got that too.
But the 9-day wonder has been on for about 30 years now, and I'm still in the Lord. So yes, so Youth for Christ is everything. That was a period trusting God, learning the word and everything. So along the way, you know, my mom, with all the pressure after my father left, had to move from Kumasi to Accra. So she relocated because the pressure was too much. The advice was that she should leave the marriage and blah, 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 and all that. So she came to Accra and left me with my younger brother there. So I became his mother, more or less, at the age of 13, right? And so my younger brother lived with me alone in the compound house for 1 year.
Hey.
And then, yes, for 1 year. I took care of him for 1 year. Of course, there were people in the compound house that had oversight, you know, and everything. But when my mom was coming to Accra, the intention really was not to come and stay. It was coming to check it out. And she came and got a job as a clearing agent at the airport. And so she stayed. And she had to squat at a very small, tiny room, you know, and all that. So this was our lives. And then all 4 of us, you know, had to join her. So all 5 of us cramped in one room. It was fun. It was fun. It was family. I mean, you know, when you're the laughter, the hunger, and everything. So, well, we came to Accra. Accra too was a big hustle. We lived around the IPS, UPSA area. You know, now it's all open. They used to have this big plantation, mango plantation, So the hunger situation was solved a little. Myself and my younger brother, when we moved to Accra, I was coming for, you know, vacations, like, you know, like when school went on recess, I came, and that was why I was coming and going back to Kumasi. And guess what? I was traveling alone at that age.
Hey, wow.
Yes, I was traveling alone at that age. Today I want to look back, I'm like, whoa, Chale, that was a lot, but that was my life. So when we came to Accra, my mom decided to keep all 3 of them here and allow me to go back to Kumasi, because the school I was attending, I had some kind of scholarship, a certain percentage, you know, but even the rest of the percentage, my mom could not pay.
Wow.
So that explains why I didn't pass my maths at POP, you know, at the finals, because I was sacked from the exam hall to stand outside for like 40 minutes, you know, whilst others were writing. You get me? Others were writing. Me, already I didn't like maths. So the little I've studied, how was I supposed to catch up? So that's how come So I went to Second World War, you know, to rewrite. And that's when I went through and then did my A-level privately. So let's talk about sickle cell.
Yeah, because I was looking at the time and I'm like,
all this while I was still struggling with sickle cell. So giving my life to Christ, I came to encounter a certain man. Then I was doing that. The reason I brought the school thing in, because then I was doing my national service. You know, back in the day, after A-level, you do your national service. I hope you all remember.
Yes.
Because so back in the day, you do national service twice. Either, I think people did it twice, others also did it once, I don't know. A-level and then after uni. I didn't get to do that after uni because I did uni much later. Very, 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 very recently. So whilst I was doing my national service at Radio Universe, someone spoke about a certain man. It was a story about him, and I became interested. They say, oh, he's now even meeting at Ekwafo Hall. And I was very curious. Listen, I've been very, very curious to know more of the things of God, which I still do. And so I went for the meeting. Very, very, it was too intellectual, my sister. Hey, the thing was just passing. The man, Chale, deep things. So fast forward, he started the fellowship. Also, we moved to somewhere around Nima, Nima roundabout. There is a pub there called Frankie's, and that was where the fellowship was meeting. Yes, I know you're surprised. We're meeting at the pub, and that's where I had my healing. So don't look at locations for certain things. God is God. He does what he likes. So I remember 1998, my pastor spoke about DNA and used the scriptures to speak about DNA. He was not saying anything about sickle cell. He was not saying anything about any genetic disease or whatever. It was a simple preaching that, when we give our lives to Christ, we are adopted, the adoption. And I think we all know from scripture, the adoption. Wow. And that's in Romans, it says that everything written against us is blotted away. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Is blotted away. And that was the understanding I had. And then he explained that, this thing he even said was just in passing. That, our DNA even changed. We now take up the DNA of Christ. And we take up the DNA of Christ. And the DNA of Christ means that basically we are in Christ. So everything in us become, when one comes to Christ, everything becomes new.
Yes.
Mostly when people are preaching the word of God, we take it, in a very theoretical way.
Yeah.
But see, I was desperate. So everything you say, even to date, is literally, I take it literally. So I was sitting there quiet listening. He said so many things, but what stuck with me was the DNA and the fact that our genetics, like, it's a code. The DNA thing, I don't understand all the technicalities. He's mentioned that it's a code. The code is written. So to him, he said that for them to see, it's a certain writing. I said, if I'm in Christ and Jesus now is my I'm a joint heir with the Son, and God is my Father. Already, my Father is not there. I don't even like him like that. So, and this was a simple prayer. So whilst the man was speaking, this was what I was thinking about. He spoke for more than an hour, but I only picked this. And on the way home in the trotro, this was what I was thinking about. Then I related it to my situation. The sickle cell is genetics. See, until very recently, I didn't know it was called genetic engineering. It is, the substance that I was looking for. So I started praying. So I had a very quiet prayer, and I spoke to God sincerely that I'm tired. I was tired. And because, see, when the crisis came, there were moments that there was no food at home, not to talk of paying the bills at the hospital. See, my health was on credit because we used to go to the hospital, and they have to discharge me, and I owe. Okay, and I had to go back. Sometimes I don't finish. My mom, listen, it was not funny. So knowing all this, I just wanted the burden off. And so for 2 years, I still had the crisis. Okay, almost 2 years, because it was somewhere in the middle of 1998. I was tired. I was so tired, but I kept having the crisis, and I kept believing. I kept believing that, and I kept confessing, I am healed. My DNA is changed. If the writing against me, it's a writing against me. It is a code in my system. And it says that everything written is blotted away. God, let this one to be blotted away. Write it off. Give me yours. I kept speaking that. I never stopped doing what the doctor said I should do. I kept taking the medication, being on my folic acid, iron, drinking, but I was still having crisis. Listen, I told myself I had nothing to lose if I believe I'll be healed or not. Okay, what do I have to lose? I'm still doing what the doctors are asking me to do, by the way. But believing that I will be healed one day is a positivity I needed to stay alive. So whether it was going to happen or not, I kept trusting. I kept trusting. Was I weak at some point? Yes. Did I get into doubt? Yes. But I remember, by the grace of God, He helped me to snap out of it quickly. The last day, there was a song I sang. Sorry, I have a little cold, but I'll
Sing,
try and
because we
sing.
were going to ask you to sing anyway, but can you sing?
And in those moments, I'm not your gaga 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 prayer, bulldozer prayer, or simple things, and I worship. So I started singing, "Heal me, O Lord, and I will be healed. Save me, and I will be saved. Heal me, O Lord, and I will be healed. For you are the one I praise. You are the one I praise." Wow. And I remember a few minutes after singing and going into worship, I slept off. And I slept off. And that was it. I woke up, they came to check, and they were like, "Oh, you can be discharged. I think you are very stable now. Sickle cell is managed. It's not cured. So when you are stable, you can go home." And so it was December 31st, 1999. The reason why I wanted to stay alive, I begged God that let me at least see 2000. Let me see 2000. With all the news, still with my little mind. Has God been faithful to that? Yeah, I'm here. So it means I've seen it. And I've seen it, and I continue to see the goodness of God. And so this is it. That was the last crisis. And I could not wait to go to church. So I was at the 31st service till date. A few months after, they said I should do another comprehensive test. I don't know why the doctor called for that. And so I went ahead and did it. They said they don't see a trace. A particular sister, even that one, it was at a particular lab. A particular sister, she lives in the US now. It's called Nanaya. She was a lab technician. So she helped me a bit. And the thing came out, and they say, "Oh, they don't find a trace." So now they were contemplating, was the old, test wrong, or is another kind of genetic something I was having?
Hey.
But there's the crisis, the pain, the joints, everything, your whole body on fire and everything that has been my life. This is how faithful God has been to me. Till date, there's no trace. I've had struggles with my health, childbirth, all that. Power of confession. Power of confession. Keep it like that. Even in the face of the biggest onslaught of the enemy, keep your confession positive. If you catch yourself saying something, and sometimes God will plant people in your life to correct you, that Marion, don't say that. And then I never get offended, because I know that they are aligning with my belief. Because once in a while you'll be caught outside of it when it gets tough. But when you are blessed to get people to remind you, the power of confession.
That is
for me, growing up throughout, as I said, when they were making me grind things on the stone and everything, I used to, I was noisy. Me in future, I'll have a blender. I know I'll have a machine. I had never seen a blender before.
Wow.
I have a machine that will grind my pepper. I will have a washing machine. I'll have this. Did I? Yes, I have. For the past almost 18 years, I've never washed with my hands or dried anything. And I live in Ghana, and I use washing machine and dryer.
Because
The
you
first time I saw a blender was, yes. The first time I saw a blender was when I was 16, projecting into the future. There was this thing I understood. I had issues with my guy, had gynae issues. They told me I had 40% chance of giving birth. But the word of God told me, none of you be barren in the land.
Hey.
This was my confession. Yes, whether it happens or it doesn't happen, will I die to confessing positivity for me? No. So you have nothing to lose believing the positive thing for yourself. You have everything to lose believing the negative, because it suppresses you. It doesn't help you to think. It doesn't even help you.
You had 40%. Do you have kids? Well, you have 3. So
awesome 3 strong force, my sister. Awesome 3 strong force. Beautiful daughters, so intelligent. It beats my imagination that I am the one who have given birth to these beautiful children. They are so intelligent, very creative. This is the story. This is Marion. This is me. And it's all God's faithfulness. God planting beautiful people around me. The disease, I don't have it anymore. I don't have a gynae issue anymore. Have I gone through other challenges along the way? Yes. But I have stayed positive by the grace of God. And by, people think, for my background, folks, I shouldn't even be talking to people like you.
Girl, you know where I be from?
Don't worry. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, a certain, people look at me and they think I've had it all. No, I've lived in an uncompleted building before, where when it rains, use that plastic to cover. This is me. Being sick and having all those conditions. If God has brought me this far, honestly, I don't think God, will not do it for anyone. So this is my story. This is the younger version of Akosua. This was, now, am I old? Yeah, Chale. Me too, I've grown small.
Oh, you're legend.
What are you talking about? So yeah, folks, this is my story.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Let me read a few comments. Uncle Ben. I love this uncle. I love him so dearly. You have no idea. Uncle Ben Dochema.
Yes.
The UN, and it takes a certain caliber of person to draw Uncle Ben out, because this guy is doing incredible things about stuff happening in the world, right here in the center of New York. So he says, you have nothing to lose from believing, trusting God, and having faith. You have everything to gain when or if faith brings results and testimonies. Our executive producer was singing, all my life you have been faithful, all my life you have been so, so good. Every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. God is good. And I think when we're about to sign off, I will ask you to sing this particular song for us so we can sing.
I will.
And
I will. It's one of the songs I love.
Our producer, Elsie Dixon, says, I love her. Akosua needs to come back. Listen, when we have our alumni meeting, you're going to have to be here in person to just put more fire and tell us more about this legend. Every time you say I was a legend, I just get happy. That legend word is just incredible. Let me see. There's just so many people here. Beverly is just praising God with you. She says, hallelujah. I trust God. I thank God for Jesus Christ in my life. I have the DNA of God. I think this message is what we're going to go with today, the DNA of God. In fact, if I sat there, if I were to tell you some of my stories, you'd be like, man, God
is too faithful. He's too faithful to fail.
Yes.
He's too faithful to fail.
And Sharon Dakers, another one of my dear sisters here in New York. Sharon, how are you? Wow. I see you again. She says God gave her the revelation. Right. Yes, God gave you a revelation. Right. Incredible, powerful story. Akosua's healing from sickle cell is a wonderful miracle. My girl, how I was just saying, we need to do something with your blood, and I don't know, be telling these people in the West, listen, we got the cure, and it's this DNA code writing here.
I think my story is one of the exceptions in the whole thing. To date, a lot of people don't even want to believe it. But I say, listen, I can't say that those, everybody who knew me anyway, listen, I mean, they are all alive. My mom, and sometimes I don't tell the story that like the way my mom, they are like, you left this out. Let us say, well, when you're telling us, you can't say everything. They have the details. They saw you. They went through the struggle. So
And people even had
God has been
names
good,
for
yeah.
you, right?
God
People
has,
had names for you. I remember you were telling me. So these are people who are alive and can verify your story.
oh
You're not,
yeah, yes.
so you're not.
Everybody is
Yes.
alive. A friend of mine, Georgina, she is in North Carolina. She's been a friend for more than 20 years. Sichopa, she is a lecturer at one of the universities in Ghana. I mean a PhD.
Wow.
And they tell me I owe them a lot because yeah, they were my friends. And when I break down, they will be running helter skelter. They say you have to pay us huge. Indeed, I owe just too many people a lot. I owe people a lot of gratitude, a lot of gratitude. I
And
mean,
God has them all.
if they didn't allow themselves for God to use, I don't think I'll be here. So their obedience, their love, I'm grateful to all of them. I'm grateful to Reverend Abubakar Bako, who became like a father to me. Actually, he's a father to me. I mean, physically, spiritually alike. And he's not the one who be laying hands on you and all that, but he'll teach you the word. And so you learn to hear God. You learn to catch your own revelation here and there. I'm not still there. Chale is still growing, but at least the journey has been awesome. People like Kemi.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
I mean, she is one
There's
awesome
so
little
many
sister.
people. Let me.
Troublesome, but I love her absolutely. I love her absolutely. My children are so comfortable with her that I've told them that, listen, if you're not able to talk to me, talk to Auntie Kemi. What a backup I have. So see, I have it all. My husband, Kobena Kisiedu, is group captain at TMO of the Ghana Air Force. Another very
Woo! Brother.
awesome. Also, brother Chale, brother captured me, and he has been very good to me. I mean, such an awesome, and encouraging, he just encourages me in everything, pushing me even when I don't want to go. It pushing me when I was running away from ministry work, going to minister to other people, even sharing my story. I used to be very, very, I shied away from all the poster stuff like this. I'm like, man, I don't speak well. Who am I? But look at me.
You've been speaking
I'm
consistently
I'm
for
sharing I'm sharing my story somehow, some way with
an
everybody.
hour, close to
So
an hour 15. Akosua,
wow.
wow. What a
Yeah. Thank
powerful
you so
story
much.
you've come to
Thank
share.
you.
You've taken us all the way into the nooks and crannies of
Wow.
pure history. You brought back
Wow.
childhood memories with Lolo and Taskele and hide and seek and
Yeah.
the Alikoto thing that we used to do like this.
Yeah, the one in the sun. Yeah.
And all
Yeah.
these fun did. I hugged ice water on the streets, actually maybe ice block. And again, my sister would confirm that we all did at some point because that's what we did on the streets.
So you see the way you look so fine and nice. Nobody would think.
Nope.
And you speak so well. Nobody would think it's so.
Because that's what the grace of God
Believe
does.
me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm so
Yeah.
grateful that we all came
I am
to
grateful
just
to
hear
be
your
here.
story. Akos, thank you.
You.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you. Thank
To
you.
my younger
Thank you
self
to everybody.
audience, I want to say thank you guys for just being engaging. I feel like this story should be bigger. It should just blow up. For the glory of God, because you know what? Yes, we're Africans and we come here to share our authentic stories. We are better for it though when it glorifies the person who gave us the stories in the first place. So I'm very excited about that. I really, really am. And I just look forward to when we can put you on another platform like Oprah status where you can share the story. And I really want that. But hopefully I will be that Oprah status because now I'm also confessing.
You are the barakat everybody is going to look forward to. The breath of life. Your name is something else. So I look forward to that.
Oh my God. Oh my God. so we can share the
Anniversary.
story on a bigger platform again and be just, bigger onto bigger and better things. Guys, next week we have another powerful storyteller,
Mm,
Adwa Edu Aqua.
mm.
I always say that Africans, we have this resilience, and I don't know why we allowed other people to tell our stories, but I am so glad we're here to tell them now. We're learning how to not just to orally speak and tell our stories, but to also pen them down. And so when my producer said to you that you have to write this book, we have to flood the atmosphere and the environment with books written and spoken by Africans. So Ajoy Duakwa will be here to share a story with us. And then
Wow.
later on in May, we're going to have, and oh my God, where is our communications director to this morning? She needs to teach me how to say this. We're going to have lawyer Ntika Tichie. I hope I said that right.
Wow.
This incredible comedian that I love so much. He's going to be here, and another industrious daughter of Nigeria, who was involved in a plane accident a couple of years ago, and was one of the only survivor.
Oh, wow.
And she's going to be
Wow.
on in May. So
Wow.
guys, we have incredible, powerful storytellers coming through.
Wow.
Stay with us. You will not be disappointed about what To My Younger Self is doing. The other thing I wanted to talk to you briefly about is the fact that please find us on YouTube. I know when you type into My Younger Self, you see a lot of people, but we're there somewhere. Just keep going and you're going to see us. It's yellow. You're not going to miss it. And we're going to plug it in also in the comment section, the link, so you can subscribe. We need these stories. It's not really about me or the producers or even the show itself. It's about the people telling the stories, authentic stories. Mariam Makeba said that when the people came to Africa, they learned how to tell our stories better than us. We have to flip the script. So let us keep telling our stories. And that's why we need you to go to, subscribe on To My Younger Self on YouTube. The other thing I wanted to tell you is, hey, do you know someone who wants to be a sponsor of this show? Reach out to us on To My Younger Self, 777747 at gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. We are also a viewer-supported platform. So please, we have, where is this? Let's see. We want you to join the movement. If you want to just support us as a viewer, send us your support or your contribution, whatever it is, at $TMYS, the number 7 on Cash App, and we appreciate you in advance. Before we leave, normally we would tell our audience, we would tell our guest storyteller to tell us something powerful that we would take with us for the week. But today, I think I want Akosua to sing over us as we sign off. So I'm going to say goodbye from us, myself and Akosua at To My Younger Self Studios. And as she sings, for a few minutes, we will just transition and close. Okay? It has been wonderful being your hostess, and I am so grateful you allow me to do this every week. For 2 years, God indeed has been faithful, like Akos says. And Akos, over to you as you close us out.
So I'll go with the request someone made. I love you, Lord, for your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up till I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led me through the fire in darkest night. You are closer like no other. I've known you as a father. I've known you as a friend. And I have lived in the goodness of God. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful. And all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful. Yes, you have been. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, and I will sing of the goodness of God.
Wow.
And I will sing of the goodness of God. God bless you.
Oof. God
God
bless
bless
you.
you.
God bless you. God bless you. And yes, this was awesome. What a minister. Great prayer-filled and soothing voice. Auntie Doris, we will close with you. Wow, it is all about God's mercies and goodness. Your voice is angelic. Thank you so much, Akos. I'm crying now, so we're going to sign off. Guys, it has been an amazing, amazing time. We will see you again next week with Ajua Idu Aqua. Have a wonderful week. Remember, speak positive. You have nothing, absolutely nothing to lose. Let us continue telling African stories. We love you. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Moko school, my bye.